this is Dr. Kit again. You know what time it is. It is 6 p.m. Tuesday Central Time in the big old Alabama. And I got to give some shout out to some of my folks right here in Alabama who supports this show. Thank you so much. Keep on doing what you're doing, okay? Listen, and to the rest of you around the country and around the world who just take some time out to watch. But listen, you're on the Shake Up. Shake Up simply means that, we're not discarding what you have. We're just moving it around and giving it a new experience, something that you can look at, something you never thought about, something that you thought about but didn't know how to frame it. So that's what we do. We're not looking into people's business. We're not trying to put your stuff on the street. We're not trying to embarrass you or anything like that, but this is the place to come and to talk out your thing and to give people an insight into their lives through your experience. Now, how about that? You can mirror them how you want to. So we're so glad. We're so glad. We're so glad. And so we have a good show before we get to the show. Listen, yesterday we were at the Refueling Your Marriage, Refueling Your Relationship, rest stop experience down in the big ATL, and some folks showed up and showed out. Listen, we had a great time. You should see men and women going through their own experiences. And no, because of confidentiality, I can't share any names or get deep into anything, but I tell you, we saw men and women emote. There were some tearful moments, some hugging moments, some moments of forgiveness, and there was prayer. I mean, there was some stuff going on in that conference yesterday, hosted by my wife and I, and we had a great support team that helped to put it together and pull it off. So we just want to thank those of you who came. And there was some there from the Blamley family. We want to thank you too for showing up and giving us some of your support. All right, so great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. Hey, listen, I don't want to take up too much time because we're going to go right through this. I have a guest. Now, you don't want to mess with this guest now because she can take care of herself. Very articulate, very intelligent, very wise, very smart, and she got a lot of good opinions that she wants to share. Not just opinions, but facts and or experiences. Okay, so listen, just sit tight, buckle your seatbelt because you are in for a rough ride with this young woman here tonight. Okay, so if you've ever had a rough ride, we're going to replicate that. So listen, I'm going to bring her on right now. She will introduce herself because, I mess up people's names. So, so listen.
Hello, everyone. My name is K Lynnette, and I'm sure you've originally seen me on Anthony Lofty's channel. That's where I normally am on the podcast, on the panel. But here I am here with Dr. Kit today, and we're going to shake it up.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! They just throwing things inside there already, Kaylin. They just putting it up there already. Listen,
that's our Lofty's family.
Yeah,
they always come through. We are a family over there, baby. We come through for each other.
Hey, listen, and I've been on the show, a couple of times, and I've enjoyed myself. Anthony's a great guy, great host, very intelligent young man. Good questions. Good question, very thoughtful question. Hey, Anthony, man, one up for you, dude, my big dude. Thank you. Hey, for loaning us one of your panel people here, man. It's gonna make my show look good tonight. Listen,
we're gonna try. We're gonna do what we can do.
Listen, you were in one of the things that we talked about when we were on the show was about, and I don't want to make it narrow. I'm just gonna call it the role of men then and now. What kind of a contrast? And you can go back as far back as then as you want to, come forward as now as you want to. And you want to deal with everything in between, see how things are different.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think a lot of men now are under the impression that the women of today is supposed to behave and conduct themselves the way that grandma did.
Ooh.
But see, the men is not taking on the role that Pop had.
Oh.
Grandma didn't have to go to work. Okay? Grandma ran the house. Pop made sure all the bills was paid. Matter of fact, he came home and laid his check on the table. How many men you know nowadays come home and lay their check on the
Oh,
table?
now, why do you have to ask that question and shame some man? Can you just slow it
I'm
down a
just
little?
I'm just asking the question now. It's a valid question. How many men nowadays do you think honestly come home and lay their paycheck on the table?
Well,
How many men do you think now make the amount of money to take care of their family on their own? So we have to get out here and work. So we don't have time to do the things that my mom had time to do. We don't have time to get home right before you do and take care of the kids and make dinner and do this. No, we work too. So there needs to be a sharing of the responsibility.
right. Now, sharing of the responsibility, there are direct sharing of the responsibility, and then there are some indirect ways. Some people call it like they say, like in kind, where you don't give like money, but you give services or other things that has a monetary value. But one of the things I think I'm hearing you say is this, that there is a cooperative approach to life. There was back then, mama and papa, and you come home and lay the check on. Now listen, to come home, listen, to be out there in the grinding sun and wherever you were, come home and you lay that big old green dollar down on and turn your back on it and just walk away. And that's a lot of TRUST right there.
But he did it. He did it every week. No complaining, all compliance. And they say they want a woman that's respectful and submissive. Yeah, I'm submissive. And I can be submissive without being subservient. I'm fully aware of how to allow a man to lead. But buddy, I got to know you can lead.
Can you talk for the difference between submissive and subservient? Because I think you're raising an amazing point here that I just want you to clarify, just so some people can understand the difference from your point of view.
That means I'm able to submit to my man. I have no problem allowing him to be have the masculine tone or carry the masculine tone in the relationship or the marriage. I have no problem doing so without degrading or belittling myself or my role. I feel like when you don't treat a man like a man or speak to him like a man or take on too many of his roles and characteristics or the things that he should be doing, I think it's a way of emasculating our men.
Okay. All right. So listen. Um, there's a lot of talk about how women treat men and that men feel bad when women do certain things. But listen, I'm going to drop the hammer down right now. Listen, women, all you women out there, let me tell you this, and I might shut it down.
Okay,
But
come on.
women, you are not responsible for the way your man feels. When you behave in a particular way, there is not just one way for them to respond to your behavior. They make a decision given the number of responses they have here, given their past, their current, and where they want to head to. But I think a lot of times, well, man wants to blame women for the way they feel, and which in turn want women to behave in a particular way. And when they do that, I think they are kind of stifling the voice and activities and the creativity of women. I don't think that needs to happen. Speak to us, will you? Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Okay.
I feel like you are able to correct your man in a corrective tone, but I feel
All
like you
right.
should do it in your own home or behind closed doors. I don't feel like you should agree with your man out in public. That is emasculating to a man. I don't feel like there's certain things you shouldn't say to your husband out in public or anywhere. Some things are just for home between you and I. We get home and then we'll discuss it. Some
Right.
women don't know when and where. That's the thing. It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Okay. Ooh, listen, are you
Yeah,
excusing
Dr.
that?
Kid, it sounds like you're excusing bad behavior. No, some people, some they do be cutting up.
Okay.
And there is a way to address that. And I feel like a lot of people, or most people, in my opinion, are starting to get it wrong.
Okay. But listen, I believe that there should be the same expectation across the board.
Yes.
Men, there are some men who don't have a problem, using all kinds of adjectives, they're women out in public, and these are the same
Excuse me.
women that you're good. These are the same women, that have their babies and take care of their laundry and their clothes and their food, and yet they want to call these women some names that I'm not going to let escape my lips. You hear what I just said? I'm not going to let those names escape my lips. No, 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 no. I
You know why you
refuse to
won't?
let that happen.
You know why you won't, Dr. Kid?
What
Because
is
see,
that?
we're distinguishing the difference now between men and boys.
Ooh.
Men don't do that. That's why you won't let it escape your lips, because you're a man. A boy has no problems with the things he says. He's very unfiltered. He's unruly. He's unmanageable because he's a boy. There's a big difference between a boy and a man, and you got to know which one you got.
Yeah, she coming out swinging. Yeah, great girl. Yes, she coming out swinging. I told you, man. And this is bare knuckle time right now. She ain't even got no boxing gloves on, so you're getting a real raw thing.
There's a difference, babe. You got to know which one you got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. Some I believe. This is what I believe. This is what I believe,
Hmm.
and it's coming from what I call the biblical principle. Adam said when he saw Eve, she is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh.
Hmm.
Now, if I see my wife as bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, whatever I say to her, I'm saying to me. Whatever I say about her, I'm saying that about me. Why? Because she's bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I'm bone
You're
of her
one.
bone, flesh of her flesh. So therefore, it's almost like looking in the mirror and saying crazy things, cursing even at myself. What do you think? Do you think that sometimes people have missed this whole idea of the quality of relationship, in that when you get to that level of relationship, there is a mirroring of the self from one to the other? You think they miss that?
I believe in that most definitely, because I believe once that you have matched each other's energy on all levels, then you become one. You see, you have to be the same emotionally, on the same level emotionally with the relationship, mentally, definitely spiritually. You have got to be on the same page spiritually, because then if you're not, you're unequally yoked, and it's never going to work.
So what? Why is that? There's financial, physical, emotional, but you said definitely at the spiritual level and unequally yoked. Now, why is that important to you, and or should it be globally important?
I'm going to give you an example. Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah.
I'm from North Carolina, small town in North Carolina, rural Hall, North Carolina. My mother um, is a pew puncher. That means she's in church every Sunday. My father, Deacon Lynn Bidding, he's a deacon. My sister, Shell Treadwell, Shell Oliver, Shell Wilford, she's a pastor.
Ooh.
So here's the thing, I'm a Baptist, and there's no other way for me to go with this. But by me being up north, I'm here in Pennsylvania. I live right outside of Philly. I meet a lot of men that are of different religions. I meet a lot of Muslim men. Believe it or not, a lot of Muslim men approach me. It's not gonna work. I have a problem with that. Because more than likely, they do believe that they are the head, and they will want you to follow them eventually. They say it's not a must, but they lead you to that. Depends on where you are in religion. They eventually try to lead you to the Muslim religion. And no, I'm. You believe what you believe, to each its own. But I have a problem with not admitting that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and He died on the cross for me. I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a difference of beliefs. We're not gonna get right. Not when it comes to that. So religion to me is very important. No, I'm not a pew puncher yet, but as hot as it was this summer, you can only imagine how hot down there gonna be. I'm gonna get my church hat in a few more years and find me a pew. Mm-mm.
Oh, listen, girlfriend Chronicle, trying to say something here, but it keeps dropping off. It's going to come up. Some men think once you take their name, you are now their property instead of the, oh, listen, girlfriend Chronicle, why are you trying to mess stuff up now? Property instead of helpmate. There is a, listen, when she said instead of, she's saying, listen, they're not one and the same. Right. Property. Go on, go on. Look like you want to say something about this here.
Well, you pretty much know that about a person before you marry them. You know what you take into the register. You walked around the store for an hour with that same product. You know exactly what you take into the register. So can't nobody be shocked when they get there. Once
I
you get out of the store with your purchases, you chose that. You walked around the store with it, you picked it up, you held it, you put it in your cart, you looked at it 3, 4 times. You know what you got.
you're so real. I bet nobody gonna mess with you. Nobody's gonna mess with you. But but it's kind of crazy because when it comes down to the to making a decision about the person you want to let into your life. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. You make that decision based on something about you. We think that we make decisions based on something about the other person. And if we do, we need to back that train up and
Yeah.
ask yourself, what is it about me that is making me feel attracted to this person? Or what is it about me that's making me want to have this person in my life? It is my decision. And once I make that, I have no reason to berate you and tell you how you ain't acting right. Now I want to force you to become. No,
Yeah.
no. So what does that do for women when men, try to, talk about property? There was the statement a little earlier talk about property as opposed to help me. Now, when it comes to property, you know, when it comes to property, you see this? This is a remote. This is mine. I paid for it. I bought it. Okay. And I'm gonna put it down like right here, and it ain't gonna move unless something or someone move it. It
Yeah,
doesn't
you got
think, it doesn't eat, it doesn't sleep, it don't talk to me, I don't talk to it. Now there is a difference between property and help me. Can you can you make a fundamental statement about that so some people out there, because there might be some women who are ready and willing to settle for the property piece just to get what they think they need.
I've seen this situation a lot, and I feel it's due to the fact of women wanting a title of married or wanting the title of fiance, girlfriend. Some women feel that they have to be with someone in order to measure their worth, and that's just not true. Because here's the thing, I feel like if you can't be happy with you, how do you expect anybody else to? If you can't spend time alone with you and be fine in that time and relish in that time and submerge yourself and bask in the ambiance, how do you expect somebody else to come along and do it? So no,
Mhm.
I think it goes back to liking yourself.
Wow.
You have to like yourself, love yourself, pour into yourself as much as you would do the next person. And then when the next person comes along, yes, you come along and yes, love me with me.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts.
I like that because this property I belong to somebody else, but when I can love me
Yeah.
and
You
I
know
have
your
my
worth
own.
and you will not tolerate anything less than what you deserve.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so when I'm saying, listen, I there are two ways to look at it. I see myself worthy of being your helpmate.
Exactly.
I want you to see me worthy of being your helpmate. You should feel worthy of being my helpmate, because it's not
Yes.
just women being helpmate. Now we're in this kind of an egalitarian world, where there are men and women. It's kind of equality. I'm thinking that men and women should be helping each other to become the very best that they can become. Otherwise, you are not pouring into your significant other to help them to move away from where they are in life, and then expect them to
Mhm.
do great stuff. Whoa, yeah, someone.
I like this comment.
Go ahead and respond to that.
Gigi, you're exactly right. And I'm going to give you an example of that. This is not that kind of show, Dr. Kid,
Hey,
but you know
listen,
this is where I come from. This is
listen.
a perfect example of Tisha on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Perfect example.
Listen, can I just leave that alone?
I, I'm with you, Gigi. And
They
some
don't.
women feel like, listen, and there's a lot of women that actually do feel like that. That's why they settle for men, because they feel like, oh, there's not going to be nobody else. Nobody else is going to come along. Sis, it's not true. They're like buses every 15 minutes.
Oh,
It's up to you to
mercy.
filter them out.
You didn't say that. There's one running
Or,
every 15 minutes.
listen, a woman, an average woman, men will approach the average woman at least, I want to say, an average woman to get at least 3 compliments a day. So if you choose which one you want to respond to, you could be in a relationship 7 days a week, baby.
Wow. Listen, I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. Listen, if there's gonna be a bus every 15 minutes, I don't have to chase that one that's gone. I can just
No,
I have to chase
no,
that bus.
can't chase that. And then when you take time up with somebody that's not even worthy, what they doing is holding up the line.
Oh,
See, they keeping your actual husband from getting there. You got to get him out the way, baby.
get him out the way.
You got to get he holding up the line. If you
Oh,
know this man is not, if you already with him a couple weeks, couple months, y'all been dating, and you know there's things about him you know that you don't like, or you know there's things about him that does not meet your standards or qualifications. When you persist or continue with a relationship or forge ahead anyway, what you're doing is settling.
okay. But don't you think that some men will do the same thing in their own way? See this real beautiful, nice, educated, whatever it is, whatever the criteria, and pursue this woman because they don't have enough of themselves for themselves. So they would rather have a person who is, they see themselves here, they want a woman here. And so people can go, wow, man, you must have it going on if a woman of this caliber wants to hang with you. And some of us might do that just so we can feel good about ourselves. But guess what? You're right. We never get past growing ourselves to here.
No,
We get stuck in always looking for somebody to latch onto.
that part.
Where are those people going when that
That's
happens?
why I say you need to spend time with yourself. If you can't spend time with you can't expect nobody else to want to. If you can't be okay and be single, then maybe you're lost. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. You're gonna eventually wind up settling. And when I'm telling you, you don't have to listen. I've had 2 marriages and 2 almost marriages, and I got one asking now. You're not missing nothing. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You ain't missing much. Anybody
Listen,
can be in,
listen.
anybody can be in love. Anybody can love you. But if it's not done properly, then it does not count.
So what you telling those people who are just drooling over it, like, oh man, I got, and you're gonna say it ain't nothing, it ain't all about that. I
It's not.
mean,
See, like they thought I was crazy. I said I wouldn't. Okay, my current situation, I've been with him since 2019.
okay.
And he's gotten to the point where he's asked me to marry him. But we have some issues. I ain't just gonna hop down and say, yeah, we need to come to a common ground and let you know what I expect and see exactly what your expectations are. I don't want to live with my husband. I don't want to live in the same house. I don't want to live in the same bedroom. I feel like it's perfectly fine for you to go home and for me to go home, and then we see each other. It'll be so much better. Just go home.
Right. Now,
What you got to say to that, Dr. Kid?
well, listen. They say silence is golden.
I do. I feel like we can have a healthy, productive, loving marriage without me smelling your breath first thing in the morning.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely with you on that. But and I think that's the way it ought to be. It's the way it was biblically formed right from the beginning, okay? But we have gotten to the place now where we have now created our own objective of what constitute that. And it's not, listen, I don't think it's necessarily that some people don't believe that. I think some people are so much into the pleasure satisfying component of their lives. You understand what I'm saying here? They want
Mm-hmm.
to be satisfied for one, and just to be able to have this person as a gold mine, a trophy. I'm not such an old witch, I got a man is interested in me. And I think some of those things, but let me just walk it back a second. Do you think that there might be some legitimate life experiences for some men and some women why they seem to have this clinging and a need for for attachment, and the more they cling and the more they attach, the more they lose themselves. Do you think that maybe some things like going way back, or it may even be a familial thing? I don't know.
I think it starts early on and you don't notice it. Like a
Okay.
lot of people have codependency issues.
Okay.
Like some people are not okay unless they are with someone and they don't realize it until they see the pattern. And they're not going to see the pattern unless someone points that out. You don't always have to be with someone. Since I was 18, I got married at 18. From the time I was 18 until I was 40, I belonged to with someone at all times. So by the time I got by myself at 40, it's like I'm waking up and I had no clue of what I wanted for breakfast. I knew what he liked. I knew what he probably would have wanted this morning for breakfast. But what did I really want? I have gotten to the point where I am learning the things that I like solely. I'm learning to appreciate the things that I enjoy alone. And it has gotten to the point where, as I said before, I have somewhat fallen in love with myself. So when I do bring in someone else, or when I do share myself or my life with someone else, I will invite them in to love me with me, and I will love them in return.
You know, that word you just used, Dr. Kid, are you agreeing that married folks should live in separate houses?
Dr. Kid, are you agreeing that married folks?
Yeah, listen.
Well, see, listen. Now, I'm not saying that's the what to do. I'm not saying that's how to do. I'm saying that's what I'm gonna do. You understand? There's a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah,
Now,
right.
when I was growing up, my grandparents had a bedroom. By the time I was in middle school, they had separate beds. By the time I graduated from high school, they had separate bedrooms. Imagine somebody in your face 24 hours a day during there, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You don't think nobody want a break? Don't you go on vacation from work? Don't you look forward to the weekend? Give me a break.
Oh man,
He want a
listen.
break too, but he ain't gonna tell you. He gonna stifle in that. He want a break. He might say, "Nah, baby, I want to be with you, baby. You nah, I look no." Says he wants a break. Every man needs a long time. Every person needs a long time. If you don't think so, then you can just call up the any prison, any jail, and ask them inmates how they feel about their bunkmate.
Why'd you have to say all that? Come on, man.
You're gonna be honest. It's a prison situation, especially when it's unwanted or it's too much. You feel captive. You feel stifled. You feel smothered.
So you're saying that some relationship can feel like a prison cell, like you're into this thing that you can't get out.
It can't
Emotionally,
do much.
emotionally?
Like you don't take time to miss each other. You don't take time to even have to think about each other. Don't you want to think about the person you love? You ain't gonna think about him if he's sitting beside you.
But Lynn, I've been married all these years. I ain't trying to run away from my wife. What are you talking
No,
about here?
no, you conditioned now, Dr. Kid. How long y'all been married? You think it's normal?
Oh. I think it's normal.
You think that's okay? It's okay.
Well, listen.
Meow 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 meow. It's okay.
Listen. I'm going to run that into one of the questions earlier when they say, "Well, are you saying that married people should live in their own homes or live?" Listen, there are times.
Like if it works for your situation, then so be it. If not, then don't.
That's
It's
right.
not for everybody. But
Right.
some people actually, like myself, I would prefer it that way.
Yeah, but listen, I think there's a safety issue going on here. This is real serious. I think there comes a time when married people may just have to say we can't stay together. We're not talking about divorce. We're talking about separation so that I can find myself and come to know what it is about me that is making me behave this way to and or against the person that I claim to love. And so therefore there are times when I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for married people to live together. You don't need to live in an abusive situation. And sometimes, women, just like your grandpa, popping out, they weren't abusing each other. But at the same time, sometimes we find ourselves where women are being abused, but because they don't have, because they may be financially dependent, or they stay in the situation. They're married, but they're financially dependent. And so they stay in this abusive situation, and sometimes, so we're not talking about women emasculating men now. We're talking about men abusing their helpmate.
I'm sorry, Dr. Kid. I'm listening to you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm talking about men abusing their helpmate, the other part of them. See, I think if people see my wife, my spouse is the other part of me that lives outside of me. If I slap myself like this, okay, if I slap myself like this, she gonna feel it. Whatever is happening to her, it's happening to me. So I think there might be a time when they just need to say, listen, we need space. We need space so that we can go into silence and take care of ourselves.
And space is not always a bad thing. A lot of people see space as a separation or we not doing good. No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have a girls' weekend. It's not a bad thing to go get away. It's all right to go get you a hotel room or whatever and just relax. Like my significant other, we don't live together, but he has keys. You understand? I have keys. But yeah, and still there's still days that you don't even feel like being bothered. So now, like tonight, I came and got me a hotel room just so I can be with just me. There will be nothing else. I don't have to be bothered. You have a choice.
Okay, so let me become the antagonist now. So, your significant other, you got keys, he got keys, but now you got a hotel room.
I do.
Okay. So what do married people do now? Is it okay for them to go and get a hotel room just because the oven is hot, things are getting kind of heated, and they may not have the capacity to deal with it right now, one or the other? Okay. So what you going to do? Go get a hotel room? Say, yeah, I'm challenging you now. Go get a hotel room. Guess what happened? Tomorrow you come back, that same thing is still waiting for you there. Now what? You going to get another hotel room?
I may feel like being bothered tomorrow. Tomorrow looks better than today. If I know I'm cranky, I'm in an ill mood, why subject somebody else to it when I don't have to? Why make somebody else the victim?
Why make somebody else a victim? That's a good question. And guess what? Somebody will, that other person may accept you and your cranky mood all the way to the bank. But you have decided, wait a minute, I don't need to give them this. But they need to see that they need to see that cranky part of you. Don't you think so?
Here's the thing. When I'm in a bad mood, my mouth is rated E for
Ooh,
everyone.
E.
I don't decipher, oh, I can't say that to him because I love him. Can't say that to you. We good. No. When I'm in a bad mood, it's for everybody. Everybody will feel the wrath that comes in contact. So that's when you need to take yourself by yourself sometimes. Sometimes you can put yourself in timeout. It's nothing wrong with that.
Listen, at least when you put yourself in timeout, you can take yourself out of timeout, right?
Yes, Miss Armor Artist. You can go regroup and come back.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta abort. It's okay to abort. Abort. Sometimes you can abort the mission. You don't have to stay.
Listen, it's almost like you're using military terms. Abort, abort, and then they turn that plane around.
Yes.
Come on back to home base.
That's it. Now I'm just trying to give you a lifeline now. Let me turn me loose. Let me go see about myself and I'll be back.
But even though, we're keeping it light though, but you're right. Okay. It is important. Like you said that you love yourself. Each of us should love ourselves, because if I don't love myself, I have no love of myself to bring to my spouse. You hear what I just
Mm-hmm.
said? And I
Yeah.
am cheating. I'm actually living with my spouse, not giving her the love that she needs. I am cheating on my spouse because I'm not
Exactly.
making myself available to her the way that she needs to be. She need me to be. I am living, sleeping in the same bed, cheating with my wife, cheating my wife.
And that's why I say a lot of people didn't understand when I said,
Yeah.
I am at this point in life, I am in love with me. Now, when I'm ready, I will invite somebody else in to love me with me, and I will love them in return.
Okay. How do you prepare them to love you? Because listen, the whole thing here is this. Yes, sir, nobody's going to love you more than you. Except Jesus.
Yes,
Oh,
Jesus loves me.
this I know. What the Bible tells me.
Yes. Let me sing the song.
I know you look like you can
Yeah.
sing.
And I can't even sing. I be trying to get Anthony to let me do a little doo-wop in his background. He said he don't need no background.
You don't need no background.
He don't need no background, but baby, when it's my turn, okay.
Listen. If he won't let you just sing, just talk crazy stuff.
Listen,
Just
I'm gonna get on.
talk
I'm
to
gonna
the
get on
people.
me. I'm gonna get on me one of them CDs. Y'all gonna hear me in the background. It's gonna say Anthony Loftus featuring K Lynnette. Y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna want to download it. But I can't sing too much because next thing you know, they're gonna want me in the studio. I don't have that type of time.
I get it. Okay.
I got an acquired voice.
I get it. Quiet voice. Okay. Oh, my. Listen, for those of you who are just joining us, this is Caleb. And let me tell you something. I thought I was certified crazy, but I found somebody who's got me beat.
Yes, they've already diagnosed Dr.
Me
Kid. I'm here with
beat.
you.
Got me beat. Listen, I'm gonna have to put my certificates back on the wall so I can remember. Because you
Yes, you. It's all right to display your accolades.
it is.
Some people think crazy is
It
bad.
is.
Depends on what kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so women. Okay, so what would you, from a woman's point of view, want to tell a man about how they should treat a woman? Because a lot of times we think that women can't tell men anything about women, and I'm opposed to that. I think that that when my wife will tell me how to, how to talk to her, how to touch her, how to do all these things, it's it's wonderful. You know why? Because she is the recipient and the one who's experiencing it. Who knows her better than herself? So what do we need to tell some of these women about how they need to take full control? And we talk about the man in a little bit. Man, no, you're gonna treat me like this, and I deserve it. So what you gonna tell some of these nice young women out there who think that, hey, I gotta get it while the getting is good?
You want to know the truth, Dr. Kid?
Yes, I want to hear the
How
truth.
I feel about this?
Yes, tell me.
If I got to tell you how to treat me, then we on the wrong road already.
Oh man, I need to
If you
fall on the
if
floor.
you don't know how to treat a woman, then in my eyes, you are not a man. I shouldn't have to explain to you as a man how to treat a woman.
Okay,
No.
so you believe in
That's
chivalry?
learned. That's a learned behavior early on. I missed that lesson. He should have been about between 5 and maybe 10 that he saw that displayed of how to treat a woman.
Yeah. Okay. So so you believe in chivalry, opening doors and doing all these things. You believe in them doing that for you.
I do. If you were raised properly, then you know to do that. And if you wasn't raised, there's nothing I can do with you because I can't raise you. A lot of people are not raised; they just grow up. It is not my job, my place, nor my responsibility to raise any man. I can't. There's things that a man needs to know that I'm a woman. I can't teach him that. So I'm not
Okay.
even going to take on the responsibility of raising a man. I cannot. It is. It
All
is. It's there's no way.
right. Okay.
I'm unequipped.
Okay. So, but listen. So somebody just put in the chat. And listen, there are different women, different expectations, different likes and dislikes. Okay. Every woman is not the same. Some enjoy different things, which may be outside of how people like to say we like to think outside the box,
And that
which is
comes
somewhat
along with getting to know each other. You figure that out when you're getting to know each other. That's when you're dating. That's why you date.
that's why you're there. Well, how about those who want to hurry up the date, and that's all I'm gonna say.
For those that want to hurry up and date, then they get exactly what they got. They get what they deserve.
Okay. And that comes.
If you're in that much of a rush that you can't pick a proper mate, maybe you need to slow down, sis.
Yeah, but doesn't that go back to them liking themselves and being
That goes back to
okay
you
with being
liking yourself.
alone with
It is
themselves?
okay to not be with someone. It is okay to
Yeah.
be alone. It is okay to live by yourself. It is okay to not depend on anyone. That is perfectly fine. The first law of man is self-preservation. If you don't know how to preserve self, baby, then you need to start at the beginning. And the relationship is not going to get you there.
Hmm. Because in a
In my
relationship,
opinion,
what's it now? That's your belief, right? You're gonna hang out with it, right? Yeah. Some people, and I don't know. Yes, I do believe in chivalry. Yes. Okay.
exactly, Bill. Chivalry is not dead. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, it might be creeping under a rug somewhere or hidden in the hallway, but it's there. It's out there. There are good men. I'm not going to say there aren't good men. I'm not going to say love doesn't exist. It very much does. So there are very, very good black men. Any kind of man you want to find, black, red, yellow, orange, or green, there are good men. But if you happen to be one of the females that keep attracting trash, you need to figure out what it is about you that keep attracting these trash like men. Because see, I used to attract trash. Every man I dated was a drug dealer of some sort. He was some type of hustler. Listen, I stayed away from squares. I liked the thug. But when you have enough circles and octagons and hexagons, when you get all that, then you'll appreciate a square later on. It is perfectly fine to have an average man.
Hmm.
But you won't appreciate them until you've had all those other shapes first.
Right. So, but people are changing all the time. I'm not the same person that I was last year. So learning someone is forever constant.
You're exactly right, 6'5". I'm not the same person I was last week. Nobody's the same.
Right.
It's
And
ever evolving.
on 6'5", you're right, because what we're talking about here is the process of growing the self. And a lot of times what happens here is we tend to uh, grow ourselves in a way that can be attractive to other people. You're right. You got to be able to be attractive to yourself and attracted to yourself. Value yourself. You don't have to wait on other people to value you, because if you do, you become develop this kind of attached personality where you want to be clinging to people. And at that time that you start doing things, compromising yourselves, and then wondering why
Exactly.
you're doing it, and then turn around and blame the other person for something you decided to do.
That's it. That's it. But a lot of people don't realize that, Dr. Kitten. When I meet a person, if there's things I want to change, or if there's things they want me to change about me, like right off the rip, clearly, I'm not the person for you and you aren't the person for me. Let's keep moving. We holding up the line. Because if you really like someone, there shouldn't be too many things you have a problem with their needs change to be. If you really like this person, if this person is the one for you, then there won't be that many instances or situations or characteristics that you're uncomfortable with or you feel the need to change within them. You can't change a person. You can't change a person. They can only want to change for themselves. Nor can you get stuck and build a whole relationship off potential.
Right.
And a lot of women get stuck like that. A man, see, listen, what people don't realize is when you meet someone, in all actuality, and I'm being completely honest with you, the first 3 to 6 months, you're actually dating the representative. Nobody gives you, nobody shows you that they're awful when they have PMS. Nobody shows you, oh, they got bad credit right off the rip. No, so you meet their representative in the first, so the whole first maybe 6 to 8 months of dating, if they can hold it together that long, is usually the representative. You don't meet the real person to maybe a year or two within in the relationship.
They had they don't have it now, but they had this a game show. It's an old game show. It's called To Tell the Truth. You have three people, and they all saying, "Listen, my name is John Jones," and everybody's telling the same story. And then everybody's story is so good, but in the end, there's only one John Jones. And so, yeah, somewhere in this relationship, it depends what. And it might come down to, what do I want to gain in this relationship? And this is the
Mhm.
way I see it, okay? I see it like this. All of us, I believe, go through what I call phases of have but don't want. This is when I'm going through something, I'm experiencing something that I don't want in my life, okay?
Mhm.
And what I'm trying to do is to change it to want but don't have. And if there is something I want but I don't have it, my behavior now changes to go in after a pursuit. Now, it might be a modest pursuit, might be an aggressive pursuit, but I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get what I want that I don't have, only to come to the point now that I have it, I don't want it.
Mhm. I think it's the, like you said, the pursuit. Some men
Yeah.
are addicted, and women are addicted to the pursuit. It's the hunter inside of them. Some, like, I'll give you an example. I went through here recently. I went through a dating phase where I knew, hey Anthony, that's my
Hey,
friend, Dr. Kent. You know I got
Anthony.
to speak. Hey
But
friend.
listen. Now that Anthony's on, I'm going to tell him what you said about being a background singer.
Oh, he know I want to sing in the background. So listen, we done discussed it. Even if he don't let me be a background singer, I said you're gonna have to tell them I'm a part of the wardrobe people. I'm coming to press your suits. Cause see, closed mouth don't get fed. I got to get in where I fit in. I'm gonna be the assistant, the animal trainer, the dog walker, the wardrobe, everything.
Nah,
That's my friend. He has stood 10 toes down for me since the beginning of our friendship, and he has been consistent. So yeah, when he do get where he going, even where he is now, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down for him.
Yes. That's real good. So listen. So the sisters need to say, hey, listen. Basically, I value myself, and the value of myself is not determined by what, when, where, how, or who I'm associated with. Right now, I think
That-
was I not? Yeah, but I'm thinking that if we can get, listen, that's not just for sisters, okay? Because I think
okay.
some men feel that you talk about the hunt. Some men feel that, or go fishing. Some men just feel that unless they can get what they started out to get, they have failed. But what you started out to get may not be what you want. You might at some point grow past the need to satisfy the self by doing that. I was watching this documentary one time, and this guy.
Oh, I didn't finish my statement.
Oh, go ahead, go on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Mildred. Okay,
Okay, here
yeah.
recently, I went on this, let's say, a dating frenzy.
Oh,
I made it a point because I felt like I had been too close minded. I had a type that I liked. If I see him, like it was mostly physical attraction. Oh, you got to be at least 6'2". But with this dating frenzy that I went on, I gave anybody the opportunity to take me on a date. I didn't box anyone in. I didn't try to go by all the things I was looking for. Sometimes God sends you what you need, not what you want. So I dated, but then after I begun to date, I realized that that's not really what I wanted to do. I met good men, I met great men, but a relationship is not what I want for myself right now. Like I said, since I was 18, I've always been a wife, a fiance. I've had two marriages, two almost marriages, and a proposal on the table right now. I just want to belong to
I'm
me.
6'5". Go ahead, go
Who
on.
say they 6'5"? Hey, 6'5". But I just want me right now, and I'm in love with me, and I'm having an awesome time dating me, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you can't be comfortable, and if you can't be enamored by being with just yourself, you can't expect anybody else to.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and this is a serious question. Do you think there is a difference between the behavioral expectations for the self, my behavior, what I expect for me, my behavior expectation was that based on the home I grew up in, whether there was two parents or one parent or whatever it is. I mean, does that make a difference? You think?
Honestly, I think it does. I think it's hard for anybody to have a productive, long lasting, secure, beautiful relationship done properly the way it's meant to actually happen if they've never seen that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I do.
Like, if you've never seen, you know who taught me how to be a great stepmother? I have no kids, but I got stepchildren. My stepmother. My stepmother taught me how to be a stepmother. Claire Huxtable taught me how to operate a house. My mother taught me how to be tenacious and go after the things that I want. You have to have example of these things in order to personify them. You can't take on something that you've never seen or you've never become accustomed to or you're not used to.
Yeah. Well, listen. Let me say this, and then maybe we can wrap it up because I really do want to have you back on because you just
I
nice.
see you trying to take this conversation the long way around the bend, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Dr. Keep, we 54 minutes and 32 seconds in. I'm leaving here in the hour and my hour up, baby. Now
I understand that. Hey, everyone, I understand
I
that.
like
But
this
listen,
show. Now,
listen. But while you're saying that, okay, there are some legitimate reasons. Some people, adopted, foster, all of this, and there's this loss that they're dealing with, and they really do need someone to show them that they have some value. They become clingy, so there might be some reason. And those women, we may need to talk about those kind of men and women at a later date. So now you had your 56 minutes.
I'm gonna give them a starting point. Okay.
Right.
What we need to start doing, and I'm gonna be very specific with this, as the Black community, we need to normalize mental health checks. It's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to do a check on you. And I'm not talking about you going to the gynecologist. I'm not talking about you going to the doctor. You need to check yourself mentally.
Okay.
Everybody is not okay. You sleep a lot. You're tired. Sis, you're probably depressed. You have mood swings. You're mad all the time. Sis, you're probably bipolar. I mean, there's a reason for everything. We need to normalize mental health. And once you understand you, then it's better. It makes it a little easier to love you.
Okay.
You can't love something that you don't know. And if you don't know yourself, how can you love yourself? So.
Yes. Listen, Miss K, are you going to come back? Are you going to commit to coming back?
I do commit to coming back. You can have your team reach out, and I'll come back anytime you'd like me to, Dr. Kit, because I enjoy talking to you, hon.
Yes. I just love that too. And I thank you so much. And I thank you for bullying me. Listen, I've had my 57 minutes. I'm going out. Yeah.
I don't want to bully you. You better hold your weight with all them degrees and stuff you got now. You know you a doctor and you got your master's and your doctorate and all kind of stuff. You got them degrees, Dr. Kit. You better get on the bus and stop this mess.
Okay. Listen,
look at you want to be the victim. I'm not going to let this happen today now, Dr. Kit.
You found out? Man, you weren't supposed to know that.
I see what you're doing. I see
what
you're trying to do. We call it gaslighting, Dr. Kit. It's called gaslighting. It's a word for it. I just want you to know.
Listen. I was trying to be so discreet about this whole thing.
We're not just to be discreet. There's no room for discretion once you hit our age. There's no room for discretion.
Lynn, you are great. Listen, Lynn, love you. We're gonna get you back on here. You are great. You're a wonderful person.
I can't wait.
It's so much alive. I mean, man, I think I've laughed and carried on more on this show than any other show,
That's good. Laughter's good for the soul, Dr. Kit. You need to get yourself some every now and again.
Yeah. So listen, I know you got to go and we're going to shut it down, but in all sincerity though, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty, your foresight, your insight, your wisdom, and your capacity to share your own personal life. Okay. I really appreciate you for that. Love you for that. And you are coming back.
Thank you, sweetheart, for having me.
Love you coming. You're going to be coming back. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you all so much. Listen, okay. All right. I was just going to say, if you wanted to tell people any last thing about you really quick. I know this is 10 seconds. I don't want to go without that.
A few seconds. Tell you something about me.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a hard thing.
No.
I'm a busy woman. Okay. I'm going to leave y'all with a thought though.
Yes.
Strive to live a quiet life. That's it. That's nothing extra, Dr. Kit.
Okay. Strive.
Look forward to a quiet life. And also one more thing. Don't forget, as hot as it was this summer, you better get you a pew, because we about there. Go and get you a pew and get you a nice church hat. You better get it together because it's hotter down there. Some of y'all get you a pew. Don't let it sneak up on you now. I love you.
Bye-bye. Have a good one now.
Bye, babe.
Thank you so much. All right, Lynn, love you. Okay. Oh man. Okay. She's something else, man. This is one of those shows. And listen, I just want to thank you all. A number, I saw up to about 30, maybe 31, 32 of y'all just hanging in there. And I appreciate that so much. And, and she's crazy in a good way because we both kind of match each other. And I kind of love that. So I can't wait to have her back on here. And listen, we would love to have some of y'all come on and cut up with us, okay? At any time, just come on and cut up. Just just email drkitshakes@gmail.com and my team will get you on here in a minute. Please, 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 let's come on. So you see, we're not airing dirty laundry. We're just having some fun in a good way to help people become who they need to become, but in a way that they never thought possible, okay? So please just hang in there with us, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff, and just get us on here, okay? Just get it out there, follow, like, share, subscribe, so that we can double the number every week. We're going to be right back here next Monday. And if you want to be on here, I can't say we're going to bump somebody now, but if you want to be on here with us, with me, and with the world, I would love to have you on here, because I'm crazy. I'm not going to put on my Socrates hat and start acting like I'm like I got it all together, because I don't. I just love being crazy. And I want you to come on here and just be crazy with me too, okay? But in our craziness, we're sending some serious messages now. Some serious messages that people need to hear and need to be a part of, so that they can get a life-changing experience before it gets to be too late, okay? So please come on by and join us, all right? So listen, thank you so much. Oh, let me just say, yesterday we had an amazing time down in Atlanta, Georgia, my wife and myself and my team. We went down and we had this rest stop. A rest stop is you're driving a long way. You got to pull over off the interstate and rest a while. Well, your marriage is a long thing, or your relationship. You got to pull over sometimes. So that's what they did. They came out yesterday down there in Atlanta, and we had an amazing, wonderful time with the people. You should see, I can't get into much, but you should see tears flowing yesterday. Tears flowing. Oh, attitudes changing yesterday. It was amazing. You should hear men and women praying over young folks, young people. It all went down yesterday like it was the last day, and we never know when the last day is going to be. So listen, the next time we put something out there, please come and join us and be a part of this, okay? So thank you all so much. God bless you all. Thank you. There's still 29, 30 people on here. Hey, listen. I know you got to go, and I know I got to go, but come back and visit with us next week, okay? Thanks much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.